Back here on CBS Sports HQ, continuing our coverage of the college football playoff. Notre Dame defeats Georgia 23-10 in the Sugar Bowl, advancing to the Orange Bowl, where they'll play Penn State a week from today in the CFP semifinals. Riley Leonard, 90 yards through the air, 80 yards on the ground. They didn't really get going here at all through the air. They had just 90 passing yards in this game, and you're like, well, how'd they win? They had 154 yards on the ground, but they also got special teams production. They had a kickoff return to start the second half that really opened up the game. Georgia did get a touchdown in the second half from Gunnar Stockton, his first career start, but not enough as Notre Dame advances to the next round.
Yeah, I want to open with a lot of credit to Notre Dame and their staff and their team. They played exactly like we expected them to play. Physical, tough, don't beat yourself. And they did that. They did those exact things, right? They got 2 turnovers, and we didn't, and they returned a kickoff for a touchdown. So we basically spotted them, probably 14 points off of that, and costed ourselves a possession in the red area when we fumbled down there. But you know, they did a really good job. They played really hard, physical, ran the football. So do we. Those two mirror each other. I think both defenses played well, and we turned the ball over, and they did. And they gave us problems in the past game with sack and sack fumbles. So give them a lot of credit. It takes nothing away from these men on the stage and the seniors that are part of this class. I mean, absolutely incredible. I just told them what they went through this year and what they played, how they played, the resiliency, the injuries that we've had, and win an SEC championship, which I have so much respect for our conference, and to win some of the comeback games they won and never quit, even in this game, never quit. That's the attitude you got to have to get better as a football program. So we got a lot of guys moving on, a lot of guys hurt in that locker room because we didn't get the outcome we wanted. But that's part of life, and give Notre Dame credit for how they played, and give our seniors and our leaders credit for what they've done for this program.
Thanks, Coach. Please raise your hand if you have a question. Right here in the front row.
Kurt, can you walk us through the final 33 seconds, the final minute of the first half, and going for it there, throwing the ball, and what happened?
Yeah, typically when you're down, you need every possession you can have. And we made a decision that we were going to be aggressive, and we were going to try to go 2-minute. That's what everything says you should do. You can't give up possessions when you're trailing. So we're down 6-3. We felt like we had a little quick game pass. Surely not counting on getting beat that quick, that left tackle, and got a sack fumble, which gave them some momentum. But at the end of the day, we got a great veteran defense. We should stop them. We don't play passive here, so we play to be aggressive, and we're trying to go score.
Right here on the left side, front row.
If I could follow up on that question, how much did you take into account that the offense hadn't really been moving the ball, and obviously Gunnar was making his first start as he contemplated playing aggressively?
No, I don't think so. I think we did move the ball, turned it over. So we had more yards than they did at the time, and we had more passing yards than they did at the time. So I don't see it as just going to shell. We got an opportunity. We got timeouts. We got an opportunity to go score. We work 2-minute every week, and we stay aggressive with it. We got a really good pass pro team, and we didn't pick him up on that play. He made a great rush, and he got a sack fumble. But I don't question that call because I really agree with the decision to be aggressive and try to score.
We'll stand on the left side.
Kirby, the opening second half kick return for a touchdown, what happened there, and how much do you feel like that influenced the way the rest of the game played out?
Well, I don't think it affected us because we bounced right back. It spotted an extra touchdown. It made it a harder comeback. But, we had an unlocked player that missed a tackle, and usually when that happens, you give the other team credit, but it's not a mistake or anything. You just miss a tackle. Like when you don't play for a while, sometimes you miss tackles. We had leverage on the ball, and we had somebody that could get him on the ground, and that's what football is. It's fundamentals and tackling. If we tackle him there, then we got a chance to stop him. But obviously, it played momentum, a huge momentum swing for them, but our guys didn't shy away.
Right side, front row.
Yeah, Coach, they're 4th and 1 late in the football game. They run the punt team off. Was there a thought to call a timeout there?
Yeah, didn't want to because they were going to us. They wanted us to burn a timeout there and try to do it. And we subbed. So it's really unfortunate because I've been told by our head officials in the SEC that you can't do that. You can't run 11 on 11 off. We did it in 2017 against Tennessee. We carried that. We practiced that and rep that because teams try to do it, and we were told by officials you could not do that. And so we were trying to say you couldn't do it. We got our defense out there. We were fine. I mean, I would have gone for it if I was them. So I don't think they were planning on going for it. They were going to hard count us, and we prepare for that. We do it every week, and we jumped off sides, you know. But we also were told you couldn't do that in our league.
Go to the right side.
Right here, Coach.
Kirby Smart in Georgia finished the season 11-3. And how about this? The rest versus rust narrative. Well, it's pretty true. Little rusty. All four of these teams that had a bye all lost in the quarterfinals. Oregon, Boise State, Arizona State, and Georgia on this day. More than a 3-week layoff. Everybody's, oh, yeah, we want the bye. We want to win our conference championship. This is going to make the committee think about this. It's going to make everybody think about scheduling. As we're back here in studio with Emory Hunt, look, there's no denying the facts here. I know it's a small sample size, and we're in our first year of the 12-team playoff, but this is going to start causing conference commissioners to go, hey, this is too long of a layoff here for our teams. We can't be playing our first-round game, whether it's the layoff or the seeding, because you saw Oregon have to play Ohio State. You see Georgia have to play Notre Dame. So there's some inequalities, if you will, or some disparities that you could argue that didn't really favor the teams that won their conference championships.
You're burying the lead here, man. I think the biggest story and what they have to discuss, I know they don't want to because of the money that's involved, but you have to eliminate the conference championship games. The reason why I'm saying that, we see this at the FCS level. The top teams get seeded, but they only have 1 week off, and the season ends late November. Thanksgiving weekend is the FCS season is done, and then next week starts the FCS playoffs, and then you have the bye for those teams that won the top 8 seeds. You could have the same thing in the FCS if you eliminate the conference championship game, which pushes things back up a week, and therefore you won't have this long of a layoff for teams that do earn the bye. I think that's where they're going to have to focus, because you're right. If you have the bye, 30 days or close to 30 days being off is where you're going to have this issue for these teams. But tonight, Gunnar Stockton actually played a very good game. He was efficient. He kept the offense on schedule. I felt like the coaching staff didn't trust him enough to keep the ball in his hands. They kind of got good throwing the football out of necessity, right? When they had to get back in the game and had to throw the football, he actually was able to move the offense down the field. Had they trusted him a little bit more, they probably would have been in a different scenario on the back end. I thought they played a little bit too cautious with him early in the game, and that ended up costing them because you have little room for error when you're playing so close to the vest.
See, I'm not a part of that group that wants to eliminate conference championships. That's why I would make that argument.
I didn't say championships. I said championship game.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't want conference championship games to be eliminated. I think there's still value because it keeps sort of the principle of your conference. There's pride to win your conference championship. And I know you agree with that, but there's got to be another way, whether it's reseeding or making it a little bit less of a layoff for these teams.
Or you take away 2 games, right, and keep the conference championship games. What I'm worried about is the amount of games on these kids' bodies. Some teams are going to have, let's say if Penn State runs through, they're going to have, what, 16 games? They're playing the NFL schedule, essentially. So if you can cut the regular season down to maybe 10.
But they're getting paid to do it now.
Right,
so
but 10 or 11 games, and then you can keep your conference championship game, max the regular season at 12, then you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, well, there's going to be changes pending. We know that. This is the first year of the college football playoff, and these commissioners are going to go, hey, I don't know about this. So I would say that they're going to have a discussion in the offseason about how this looks when you have all 4 teams with byes losing in the quarterfinals.